WashingtonPost.com. Here's the story. America has a black sperm donor shortage. Only 2% of sperm donors in the United States are black. This, in turn, leaves many aspiring black parents with an agonizing choice. Choose a donor of another race or try to buy sperm from unregulated apps and online groups. Now, before I even get to talking about how scary this whole idea of unregulated apps selling black sperm could possibly be, or online groups selling black sperm, that just sounds weird to me. That just sounds like crazy to me. But what I can say, that as the producer of black male sperm, I can honestly say that hearing this story, and I actually sat on this story for a while because this actually came back out in October 21st. Now, the whole month of November is pretty much gone by. That's been a month because today is November 22nd, right? So I really kind of wanted to respond to this earlier, but I didn't. And I kind of tried to bring it up on some of these live panels, but nobody else seemed to care and nobody else seemed to bother to talk about it. Well, there's a saying, if I saw farther than others, it's because I stood on the shoulders of geniuses. Most of these people haven't discussed this and they don't bother to talk about it. You have the same old manosphere panels where you have the same lamers who constantly whining about women and complaining. And you have these other panels where people are insulting the passport bros. But the reason why I felt that this story is important is because this is connected to passport bros. I'm gonna show you how it's connected because I actually talked about this before. So first of all, I wanna mention this because I know I'm gonna trigger somebody and they're gonna get mad at me and they don't even know me, but they're gonna start calling me names and shit. So let me just state the facts. Here are the facts. I am more than 6'6" tall. So I'm a very tall man. That's number one. I'm more than 6'6" tall. Nowadays, you hear a lot of these dudes on these manosphere channels, they're complaining that the women refuse to date them if they're less than 6 feet tall. Well, guess what? I'm 6'6". I'm a little bit more than 6'6" tall. So that's just, I'm not short. That's number one. I'm not short. Number two, I earn over $200,000 a year. So I'm not broke either. And if anybody's paid attention to my channel, I know some people, watch me for my stock investment advice. I know some people have watched me for my cryptocurrency bashing. I know some people have watched me for the simple jokes that I do, or even the unprofessional car reviews that I do. I make money. I have a YouTube channel that pays money. I have a tax strategy. I have a CPA who works for me. I have a lawyer who works for me to make sure that I stay out of trouble, make sure the government doesn't get me. The fucking IRS doesn't get me. So the bottom line is, I would like to say that I'm intelligent, and I'd also like to say that I have the receipts. I show the money. I've taken these luxurious vacations and places people dream of going. Maldives, Seychelles, I'm going to Bora Bora. It's like I go all around the world. I've lived in China. I've learned Mandarin, took business classes in Shanghai. I've been to many countries, Southeast Asia, and this, that, and other. Like any passport bro, I have the money to travel. So the reason why I'm saying that is kind of as a disclaimer, because the first thing these lame strags, the first thing they want to do is they want to attack you immediately. They want to be, nobody wants your sperm. Well, I can honestly promise you that yes, they do. And apparently, according to this article, they do more than you know. So I'm going to get to the article in a second. So number one, I'm black. Number two, I'm tall, quite tall. I'm not 7 feet, but I'm 6'6". I'm obviously intelligent enough to post record gains of a $200,000 salary, whether you want to include my YouTube income or whether or not you want to include my, my other side money, like, YouTube and then the money I make out of stocks and stuff. Whether or not you want to include that, fine, whatever, I don't care. So I'm not broke. I own 2 houses and 1 property, okay? So when you think about black male sperm, or you think about sperm donation, and you think about these sperm banks, in my opinion, and I wanted to talk about this earlier, but I didn't. In my opinion, sperm banks are the height of female hypergamy, the height of it. Now, let's just understand really quickly. Hypergamy means that women tend to date up. They tend to date men who have higher financial, economic, or social status. That's hypergamy. Hypogamy, Hypo, means that men who are hypogamous tend to date down. So women are hypergamous, they date up. Men are hypogamous. And this is one of these things that these passport haters don't understand, the women who hate the passport bros. Men tend to date down. Men do not go around looking for women who are 100 pounds overweight and have septum rings and dress like trash. Regardless if you have a master's degree, regardless if you have a PhD. I'm a PhD. You remember Kevin Samuels had that button? I love that button. Every time I hear the word PhD, I say, I'm a PhD. So anyway, women are hypergamous. They're always looking for a better option. Men are hypogamous. They date down on average. They never date a woman on their level if they can avoid it. They tend to date down. Whether you want to accept that or not, it's a fact. And even if you didn't want to accept it, most tall men date shorter women. They don't usually want a woman the same height. Most wealthy men date women who aren't wealthy or who make less money. Simple reason for that is if you're a wealthy man and you come home, you don't expect your woman to be pulling all these night shifts and long hours and stuff. You expect your woman to be home taking care of the house. And this is one of the things that destroys a lot of relationships among upper class people, even in the middle class or even the wealthy upper class. Usually the main thing that one of them is going to complain, and usually it's the man, is she doesn't have time for me. That's just fancy words for she's not giving me enough sex, or when I come home, the house is dirty, and the kids are dirty, the house is a mess, the food's not cooked, such and such and such. The men who are getting wives, I'm not just talking about girlfriends, men who want wives, they want women who are home for them. Men are evolved to be hunter-gatherers. Men go out, they hunt, and they bring things home. That's what men are programmed by evolution to do, and they will not change. They will do anything it takes, but they will not change. And when I say anything it takes, I'm also talking about passport bros. We'll get to that later. Bottom line is, these men expect something out of their wives. They expect that she behaves like a wife is supposed to behave according to what their culture tells them a wife is supposed to be. Regardless what that culture is, different cultures have different expectations. I feel that the black American male, and as a black American male, I can say this, and I've said this before, I feel black American men are suffering from 2 things. We're suffering from... Elizabeth Kubler-Ross laid out the different stages of grief. And I believe that especially it's obvious when you listen to the Manosphere panels, and I'm probably the only one who's ever mentioned this, and I keep saying it, so this way everybody will learn to associate this with me since nobody else caught on to this. Elizabeth Kubler-Ross brought on the fact that there's multiple stages of grief. There's denial, there's anger, there's guilt, frustration, there's also bargaining, where you attempt to try to work with somebody to figure out a way out of the problem. And then ultimately it ends with acceptance. Now, the stages of grief have been manipulated. They've been changed. I think it went from like 5 to like 7, and somebody tried to add stuff on. But the main point is black men are suffering from grief. They have to deal with women who they'd expect would be trying to build with them. They expect that those women would be trying to achieve with them, only to find out that these women are trying to compete with them, trying to outcompete them, and to try to beat them on every level. Now, that normally works in these useless liberal art degree schools where you're just going there and paying somebody money to get a degree or a piece of paper. It doesn't work out in the street. Some of these women lose themselves when they try to compete with men out in the street. That shit doesn't go very well at all. Most of you know exactly what I'm talking about. One of the things black men are suffering from is grief. Grief over women. The manosphere especially is an absolute proof of that. The second thing men are suffering from is anomie, Anomie, which basically means that you feel out of place based on what your culture and your surroundings and your environment have in store for you. You feel completely out of place. So what ends up happening is you divest yourself from it. You don't give a fuck. You stop voting. You don't care who wins. You don't care what's going on. You know, it's funny, a lot of people keep talking about the black community. As far as I'm concerned, there is no black community. Period. There's America and there's blacks living in America. The vast majority of those who are, I'll say, in the working poor want to get rich so that they can move away from the people who they live next to. And once they get into that middle or that upper class, they know to themselves they ain't never going back, because as far as they're concerned, it becomes a bourgeoisie feeling of looking down on what they've left, because they know what they've left was toxic, poisonous, and doesn't work. They do not want to perpetuate it. They look at the ghetto, they see the Pookies and Ray Rays, they see the Shaniquas, they see the Sharkeishas, they see the Shanquellas and this, that, and other. They don't want to perpetuate that. And that's the main point that I'm getting to. The shortage of black male semen. So first of all, I want you all to just think for a second. I'm going to give you a moment of silence. What high-earning, highly intelligent black man is waiting near a sperm bank to donate fucking DNA? I want you to just tell me that. Please tell me that. I want you to think in your mind, I want you to think of a black man in a suit. It could be Kevin Samuels if you want. So you got a black man look like Kevin Samuels in a suit, high earning black man. However he makes his money, it really doesn't matter. But as long as he's doing it legally, fine. Pays his taxes, owns his property, has property, whatever, travels, can do whatever he wants. And I want you to just think to yourself, and I'm going to ask the question again, what high-earning, highly intelligent black male is going to a freaking sperm clinic to donate sperm? Please tell me. The answer is none of us. And I say us because I'm one of them. So you got this picture in your mind. You got a 6'6" tall black male wearing a black suit and going back and forth to work, making his money, cashing these fat fucking paychecks, buying these fast-ass Hellcats and these Jeeps and these $80,000 Jeep SRTs, getting ready to buy an electric Cadillac, about to go to fly, just came back from Maldives, a place that all of these women want to go, but they ain't got no boyfriend to take them there because the men are had it with them and the men are getting their passports. Getting ready to go to Bora Bora. $10,000 vacations on tap, business class, bitch. Sitting in business class, sipping wine, sipping soda on demand, having champagne brought to him in his seat. Business class flight, because there is no first class on Air Tahiti Nui. There's no first class. It's a Boeing 787, and they only have business class, and then they have like premium economy. I want you to tell me what black man who's making all that money gives a fuck about Pookie, Ray Ray, Shaniqua, or Keisha to hand over his DNA to Shaniqua or Keisha. Which one of us do you think is waiting next to a fucking sperm bank to make a deposit? Please tell me. Please tell me. If your answer is none, then you are correct. Ain't none of us going into this nonsense. None of us. Now, that's not to say that they can't sucker Pookie and Ray Ray into handing over some of their DNA, because I'm pretty sure, the mere fact that some, Pookie and Ray Ray got those EBT cards and they got those WIC cards, those welfare cards, because they like to call welfare other things so this way you don't feel self-conscious. Those EBT cards, they call it Eat Better Tomorrow. That's what they call them, right? Most of these stores don't even want to take that shit no more. So here's the thing. Pookie and Ray Ray, It's really easy for the government to convince Pookie and Ray Ray to donate semen because Pookie and Ray Ray just looking for money. Pookie and Ray Ray are looking for a welfare check so that this way they could take their welfare check and buy a PlayStation 4 or something like that, or put rims on their Infiniti G30, whatever. The high-earning black men don't give a shit, and they have no interest at all of participating at all. When black men divest, that means they leave for good. They're not interested in you. They want to see you collapse. They want to see an end to Pookie and Ray Ray. These passport bros have decided they ain't gonna produce no Pookie and Ray Rays. They ain't gonna produce no Shaniquas. They're not gonna produce any Keishas. The passport bros have decided there will be not in their genetic line. There are no more Keishas, no more Shaniquas, no more Pookies, no more Ray Rays. You know what the passport bros create? The passport bros create Tiger Woods. The passport bros create Barack Obamas. The passport bros create Naomi Osakas. That's what the passport bros are doing. So you can keep Pookie, Ray Ray, Shaniqua, and Keisha. We ain't even trying to help you at all. So let's get to the story because I've neglected the story for long enough, and I think I've made enough of you angry and triggered enough to get upset. So, okay, it says America has a black sperm donor shortage. Only 2% of sperm donors in the United States are black. Just 2%. I just don't understand this. Who the hell is really still showing up to a sperm clinic? My thing is, if you want my semen, you're going to have to fuck it out of me. That's the bottom line. You're going to have to come here and get it. And if I don't like you, you ain't getting it because I'm not giving you, you know how the Borg in Star Trek, they say, you will be assimilated, resistance is futile, your cultural and technological distinctiveness shall be added to our own. Resistance is futile. That's what the Borg say, right? My thing is, I'm not giving you my cultural, technological, or genetic distinctiveness. I'm not giving you shit. But guess what? I know a lot of you getting mad because I know there's a lot of 100-pound, 200-pound overweight women right now angry. Oh, yeah, well, nobody wants yours. Yeah, here's the problem. They do want it. That's the problem. That's why I'm reading this article. They do want it. What do the women ask for when they go to the sperm clinic? What do they ask for? Oh, I want him to be tall, preferably taller than 6 feet tall. And I want it from an intelligent man. I want him to be intelligent, and he should have been making a 6-figure salary, intelligent man. You know who they want the sperm from? They want the sperm from black, tall doctors. That's who they want it from. Like my doctor, Johnson. I'm not making this up. The guy's name was Dr. Johnson. He's still practicing. I'm not going to tell you where because I don't want anybody bothering him or trolling him or anything. But anyway, Dr. Johnson, tall black male. I'm taller than he is, but he was like 6'4" or something. That's who they want sperm from. As far as I said, I started out by saying that sperm donation to me is the height of a woman's hypergamy. They're holding out for a better deal so badly that when they realize that they're old and nobody's looking for them, what they want is they want only the best of semen. They want the best of genetic diversity. They want the best DNA. We ain't giving it to them. You see what the article says? 2%. Only 2% are black. If I wanted to, like, guess what? When I get out of the office and I have to drive through this fucking traffic, I could just as easily stop by a sperm bank and I could hit them off with a couple of vials. I'm not doing that. First of all, I don't need the money, and it feels good. Let me tell you something. It feels good. I got to thank God for that. It feels good to be able to say I don't need the money. Let me tell you something. I haven't spent all the money from my paycheck 2 paychecks ago. That's when I say I don't need the money. I've been on a saving binge. For those of you who watch me, you know it's because I'm about to buy an electric Cadillac and I'm paying cash money. Fuck these interest rates. I'm not paying motherfucking Federal Reserve a goddamn penny. Fuck them. I'm paying cash. I pay cash. So anyway, I've been on a saving binge, trying to save up as much money as possible, right? So I ain't paying any interest. I'm not getting a car loan. I'm paying cash. So I'm going to be driving around in an electric Cadillac with balls full of semen that they want so desperately down at the sperm bank. And I'm not giving them any of it. I don't want to say that because they might get upset. My genetic diversity does not belong to you. It is mine. You are not entitled to anything of mine. Everything of mine is mine. I don't like to share. I'm the type of person who, like, you know, when Funcoland and GameStop, you know how they, take your old games and they give you like a couple of bucks for them? I don't even do that because I don't like giving up shit that I've purchased. I like, for every dime that I purchase, I treat it like an investment. It's like I want to be able to see it. So if I can't see it, then it's not a good investment to me. I don't know. Maybe that makes sense. Maybe it doesn't. But I'm not giving you shit. I'm not giving you a goddamn dime. And the beautiful thing about it is, it's a foregone conclusion from this article that these other high-earning black males aren't giving it to you either. Do you think that I'm going to allow you to perpetuate this broken home bullshit, this feminist liberal bullshit you've got set up? Do you think that I or any of them are anxious to help you? We're not going to help you perpetuate this nonsense. All of these broken homes, all of these children running wild, running amok, going crazy because they don't have a male father figure in their house. These women have taken control of these households. They're trying to take it and make it a matriarchy, building all of these son husbands. Do you think that I'm going to participate in that? The answer is no. I'm not going to participate in it. No. Oh, yeah, well, we don't want your sperm. We don't want your sperm. Okay, well, guess what? You're not getting it from me, and you're not getting it from Dr. Johnson. You're not getting it from Dr. Johnson either. You know what? Let me also say this. My last doctor, black male, I was in Long Island Jewish Hospital. I went to Long Island Jewish Hospital to get a checkup. I shouldn't say this, but I'm going to be real. I was shocked to see a young, in his 30s, black male practitioner. I was shocked. And I know I talked to him about it because he was doing my, he was looking over my body and everything. But do you think that doctor is anxious to donate sperm so he could perpetuate this nonsense that y'all got set up here in America? The answer is no. The answer is absolutely no. And that's just it. My genetic distinctiveness is not for you. It's not yours. You don't own it. You can't control it. That's what it is. And it's sad. It's funny. Nobody else has tackled this subject yet. You see this? See this picture right here? Well, let's read the caption. Reese Brooks and her daughter Zuri. I have one question. Where's the father? Brooks wanted a black sperm donor who could give her a child who looked like her and shared her culture. Yeah, well, guess what, Reese? If you want a black male sperm donor that looks like you and can share your culture, well, it's called marriage. I'm sorry. I believe in marriage. I know most of these women don't. This Instagram thought culture, I know they don't, but I believe in it. That's the reason why passport bros are winning, because we go into other countries, we get wives from other countries. Now, I know what they say, oh, you're not getting wives, you're just getting prostitutes, you're just getting the women that the other guys don't want, you're just getting these women who are bust down and broke and poor, you just want poor women so you can control them. That's what y'all say. And that's the reason why nobody wants to give you any of their DNA. That right there is the reason why, because they've had enough of you and your stupid shit. And the sad thing is, we have a media that's shut us up. It's quieted us down. So we're not able. See, you've got The View and you got all these stupid fucking shows, The View, The Talk, and all this bullshit that y'all got running all goddamn day long, right? So you've literally made it so that it's very difficult for men to get a word in edgewise. That's one of the things that happens here on YouTube. You've got these black manosphere channels where men are coming and talking about you, and they're talking about how they despise you, and they talk about divesting, and then they get their passport, and then they actually do it. So you've made it so that men can't really get a word in edgewise. But the reality is that's changing too, because slowly but surely you have more and more people like Kevin Samuels popping up, who's not only going to give it to you edgewise, but he's going to give it to you on a razor platter. And it's going to cut and it's going to hurt. It's going to hurt real bad. And he's going to tell you about yourself. So that's what I wanted to mention, because I tell you, honestly, this story, it's not even worth reading. Like, these people, oh yeah, what about the black community? First of all, I know enough about the world. I've traveled enough to know. First of all, there ain't no shortage of black people. Like, Africa has over 1 billion of them. The planet just crossed the 8 billion people mark. Africa got over 1 billion people. So there ain't no shortage of blacks. America has like 40 million people who are black, right? I think it's actually higher. There are no shortage of us. It says Post reporter Amber Ferguson has spent months reporting on why so few black men donate sperm. Well, here, let me help you out, Amber. It's because we're not interested. It's just that simple. She found that the reasons for the shortage are myriad. Failure of sperm banks to recruit black donors. Well, here's a question. How the hell are they going to recruit me? Like, what are they offering? Like, are they offering me like a ninja coffee maker or a ninja toaster or something? Like, how are they recruiting me? If they just are trying to get me to come in to do it out of the goodness of my kind heart, then they're out of their goddamn minds. It's not going to happen. So a selection process that demands a 3-generation medical hit. What? Hells no. Yeah, you see, this is what I'm talking about. It's the height of female hypergamy. They're determined to get the best of the best, so they're actually focused more on screening out genetic abnormalities. Now, first of all, we already know that that's not how evolution works. Natural selection does not work like that. Natural selection, even if you have a whole lot of great quality sperm, 99.999% of those sperm are going to die, and only one is going to make it. And the one that makes it might not be the perfect one. It might have been another one that just couldn't swim that fast. Anyway, it's just ridiculous. I don't trust this shit. As far as I'm concerned, this is part of eugenics. But anyway, a 3-generation medical history and excludes donors with felony convictions. Well, if I'm committing felonies, especially like if I'm like a grade A criminal, technically you should want that. You should want the Pookie Ray Ray gene. Because, hell, if I can beat up the cops, that means that I'm an alpha male, right? So anyway, it says mistrust of the medical profession by black men because of a legacy of historical discrimination. Me personally, as a black male, there's not been a lot of times where I've distrusted the medical fields. I will say one time I distrusted it was during the run-up to the fentanyl addictions. And the reason why was because one time I had to go to the shady ass physical therapy, and these people were literally asking me what kind of drugs did I want. And I'm like, wait a minute, you're not supposed to ask me what I want. You're supposed to prescribe stuff to me based on my height, body type, body weight, and this, that, and other. These motherfuckers were asking me what I wanted. Like, if I wanted hydrocodone, they were ready to give it to me. And before you ask me what was the number of the address so that you could go there so you get the drugs that you want, the answer is no, I'm not going to tell you that, okay? I'm just not going to tell you. All right. It says the result is a severe shortage and intense competition for black men's sperm. If it's a white woman, she could just so easily get a sperm donor. Listen, if you're a white woman and you're looking for black sperm, all you got to do is do the Rachel Dolezal. You come on down to my house, we can work something out. Okay, so anyway, and if it doesn't work, she can get another one. Well, apparently there must be a huge sperm bank way of recruiting white men to jack off in cups or something. I don't know. But whatever. For a black woman, she's only interested in only the choice black semen. If she is lucky enough to find a black donor, it's really maybe one of her only chances. Oh, boo-hoo. Well, first of all, me personally, I didn't finish reading. It says for black gay men who want to donate sperm, there are even more restrictions. Really, I'm surprised. Okay. So that's the story right there. I don't know how many times they reported on this story. I'm definitely going to use this picture for my YouTube to show you, the thumbnail and this, that, and other. But listen, As far as I'm concerned, and you don't have to believe what I believe, all I'm telling you is I ain't giving you a damn thing. I ain't signing nothing. I ain't giving you nothing. But as far as I believe, we're all the human race. Why do you have to have sperm from somebody just because of the color of their skin? Didn't Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King, did he not say that we should, focus more on the content of character instead of the color of a person's skin? And didn't he say we shouldn't care about race, color, creed, or religion? Well, I'm focused on the content of the person's character. Why can't you just get your semen from Dilbert? Or why can't you just get it from, why can't you get it from, I don't know, I'm trying to think of a white name like Brett. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with Brett. Get it from Brett. Get it from Ryan. Get it from Chris. Get it from Ted. Get it from Toby. It's like, why you gotta get it from me? It's like, no. But the bottom line is, you're not getting it. You're just not getting it. So let me just give you a word of advice. Passport Bros are winning. We are winning so much that we are literally taking not only our financial and our genetic diversity and giving it to foreign women who would never otherwise have access to it. Because if you really think about it, where the Passport Bros going? They're going to like Thailand, Philippines. They're going to parts like Southeast Asia. They're going to Colombia and parts of that. Those women, because of their being feminine and fit and friendly, those women are getting access to our genetic diversity. And you're not. Because y'all don't want to submit. So guess what? All of your arguments, all of your whining, all of the hatred that you've got for Passport Bros, you already know that you're past your shelf date, just like the pack of eggs, just like that carton of milk. You're past your shelf date. You wasted your time. The man who you'll keep bragging about, because you're always bragging, oh yeah, well these men are always proposing to me. I got several proposals. I got 12 dozen proposals. I got so many proposals from all these men who are interested in me. I got proposals. I got so many proposals. Yeah, well guess what? All of the proposals that you turned down, all of those men who, for whatever reason, were stupid enough to pour themselves out to you and you wasted their time, you ain't getting a goddamn thing. First of all, they're not interested in you because right now they're getting their passports. They're getting ready to fly over to another country. They're going to get themselves a wife half their age. That's number one. Half your age. Number two, they're not interested in you no more and you ain't getting it. I want you to take a good look at this picture. You're not getting it. You're not getting it. So if you really are so interested, first of all, me personally, I'm the type of person, I don't understand why people like have to spend top dollar for things that are absolutely natural. For instance, why do these women spend $400 and $500 on fucking wigs? You grow hair out of your follicles, stupid. It's like me. I grow my hair every single week. I get a haircut every single Thursday, and I have my barber trim my beard. I grow hair. If I don't cut it, it keeps growing. Why would y'all have to spend $300 and $400 for a goddamn wig? Hey, guess what? I can grow fingernails too. Why do y'all have to spend $1 million on raptor claw fingernails? Why? It doesn't make any goddamn sense. It doesn't make any sense whatsoever. Why are you spending all this money on raptor claws and fake hair and fake lashes? If I want my eyelashes to grow long, I can just let them grow. It's like they grow out of my follicles. It's like, what are you doing? You're wasting money. So my bottom line is, why would you need $10,000 in vitro when you could just go and hang with Pookie and Ray Ray and just get knocked up the good old-fashioned natural way and spend nothing? In fact, you can get Pookie and Ray Ray to take you out for dinner at Red Lobster or at Applebee's or something, since they ain't got no money. And then you can get knocked up later on. You could save the $10,000. Like, I don't understand it. To me, it's inefficient, it's illogical, and it's stupid. And I don't choose to participate in it. I will not be a part of it. My cultural, technological, and genetic diversity is mine and mine alone. I refuse to give you anything. And according to the numbers, the rest of these men do too. They have decided that they're disgusted. They've decided that they're in, whether they're going through grief or anomie or whatever it is that I pointed out, they've decided that they're disgusted. The last thing they want is to perpetuate this insanity that you've been allowed to perpetuate this long. Insanity. They're not going for it. So guess what? Just like it said, just like I've already said, you can go get it from Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, or you can go get it from Nick Cannon, or you can go get some squirt from Pookie, or you can get it from Ray Ray. You're not getting it from us. It's not happening. The passport bros are winning. This is how much we are winning. That's the reason why I brought this up and I interspersed these clips of the passport bros, because we are winning. We are winning so much. And keep in mind, as a black male, any female who I get is going to have black children. That's how it works. As a black male, it doesn't matter if I get a white woman. It doesn't matter if I have a Hispanic woman. It doesn't matter if she's an Asian woman. She's going to have black kids. They're going to be off black. They're going to be like, high yellow, and they're going to have like orange hair or something like that. But they're still going to be black kids. So the bottom line is, I'm not worried about it because, like Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King says, I'm not worried about the color of their skin. I'm worried about the content of their character. I'm interested in making them better people, not based on skin color. So that's just it. That's all I had to say, because I haven't cranked out a passport bro video in a while, and I just felt I had to. But guess what, ladies? If y'all thought that it was going to be that easy, you thought that you were going to shame, blame, and explain black men into giving them your DNA, you were wrong.